Sometimes don't you just need a quick moment of inspiration? Or maybe you just need a moment of caffeinated contemplation to reflect on life? That's the idea behind my weekly Coffee with Nicoa espresso shots. I'll be sharing short jolts of inspiration in each clip in addition to my longer Coffee with Nicoa interview episodes. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an espresso shot or a full-length Coffee with Nicoa interview created just for you. Hey everybody, it's Nicoa. Welcome to your weekly espresso shot. Have I thanked you guys lately for following me? Thank you for the listens. Don't forget to actually give me a 5-star rating. You can scroll down if you're on the Apple podcast. Actually, you can scroll down about a few of the episodes down and you'll see the opportunity to give a rating on the podcast. We really appreciate it. We're working really hard over here. And if you want to support the show, there's also a link in the show notes. You can buy me a coffee. Hey, I really appreciate it. We don't actually have current sponsorships for this podcast, so any support is really, really greatly appreciated. Now, on with the show. So I want you to feel out of control. Sometimes I feel completely out of control. And I am a personality Capricorn who makes lots of lists, and I do everything I can to control my life. But you know what? I'm learning something. Being out of control is actually a superpower. It is a mastery. It's something that I would say comes with time, experience, wisdom, and learning how to allow yourself to be out of control really sets you up for getting exactly what you want. It gives you more control than you might think. So what am I talking about? You know, I read somewhere, somebody's post somewhere, something about the antidote for uncertainty is self-trust. The antidote for uncertainty, it isn't certainty, which is what you think you're out there trying to do when you're trying to be in control. But the antidote for uncertainty is actually self-trust. And it reminds me of what my father would say to me when I was having moments of panic. And I can remember after quitting my corporate job and having moments of terror trying to recreate my income and find a way to be self-sustaining with a stay-at-home husband and 3 kids, 12 years of age and under. And my father said something to me once between tears when I was trying to figure out what was enough. You know, I was so tired. I was so exhausted. I was striving and not thriving. And I was striving out of fear. I was striving out of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Could I recreate? I was attached, right, to recreating something I'd already created under different circumstances. And although I knew I didn't want to go back to that scenario, I didn't really quite know. I was very uncertain and felt very out of control, trying to move towards a vision of a life by design that I knew I craved and wanted. I could see it. I just didn't know how to get there. And it was scary, right? It was scary. And I was asking my dad for advice and trying to get him to help me, Dad. And he said to me, Nicoa, listen to me. You know what you want. And you know what you've done to get here. He said, the only thing you have to remember is that when you're not sure, that just means you haven't applied the Nicoa factor yet. The Nicoa factor? Well, what's the Nicoa factor? This sounded pretty good. And he told me a story about his own experience as an entrepreneur and running his small business with 9 employees and facing the terrible reality that he might not be able to make payroll the next month. And he said he went to sleep that night before and many nights before finding his solution. And it wasn't until he woke up this one morning and he said, I haven't applied the Paul factor yet. He stopped looking externally and he started looking internally. He's like, what else can I do? Not what else could the bank do? What else could that client do? What else, that outstanding invoice, all those external factors that he was trying to control and lever in order to get the money, he backed it up and he got real quiet and he said, I just thought, what can I do? And he was able to come up with a solution where he was able to communicate authentically and transparently to his employees. And they actually came to a solution together. He did make payroll that month, but it was late. And he told me how bad he felt until he came up with the Paul factor. And the Paul factor said honesty, transparency, collaboration, communication. So when you're thinking about the future, right, or your circumstances, and you're feeling out of control and you're trying to find a way to control, I want you to step back and just sit and trust yourself. And if that seems really scary to you, then sit with that long enough to say, what would I have to let go of in order to trust myself? You know, one of the things I always remind my clients of is, can we look at the facts? Can we get the facts there? Can we put the facts in front of us? Sometimes we avoid what we're afraid of, right? We avoid the facts that could help us solve for what it is that we're feeling out of control about. Maybe it's about money. Maybe it's about a career situation. Maybe it's about a relationship. Be open to all and attached to none. Trust yourself. Don't be so attached to a specific outcome, a specific way something's supposed to go. If you can step way back and really just look at the facts, what is my circumstance? What do I have available to me? What don't I have available to me? What am I worried about? Can I do something about that worry? Is there something that Nicoa can do? Is there something that somebody else can do? And if there's not, can I let go of it? Can I trust myself and trust the universe or whoever you believe in, whatever greater belief you have? Can I trust that I am being taken care of and I will be safe in this process? Because no matter what does happen, as long as you keep going, you may not get what you want. But if you keep going with that sense of, I would put it as confidence and trust in yourself, that trust, that confidence, you know what? That no matter what happens, you can handle it. It may not be exactly what you wanted, but it might be something even better. Keep going. Know that if you don't get what you think you want, you might get what is even better. Something that's meant for you. Trust yourself. Stop seeking control and start being the control by being you. Thanks for listening. Coffee with Nicoa, Life by Design. I love mine, and you can love yours too. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an espresso shot or a full-length Coffee with Nicoa interview created just for you.